Hello, everyone. This is my video one. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wipsa's Design Your Dream webinar. I am super excited to have you all here in this wonderful space. And honestly, I can't wait to have you experience the valuable and impactful session right ahead of us. So now, my name is Olivia Marvelous. I'm a student pharmacist, a red carpet oath, moderator, and a panel anchor, and I will be moderating this event. So stay tuned and sit back and watch as we roll on this ride. So right about now, we'll be having the introduction and the opening remark. It's going to be given by Ms. Wamaka Udenigwe. Ms. Wamaka Udenigwe, please can you come up and give us the opening remark? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that intro. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Maka Ude, actually the sales director of John Team, Sub-Saharan Africa, also a proud member of Women in FMCG and Pharmaceutical Sales. It's actually my pleasure to welcome all of you to Design Your Dream Vision board workshop. For the purpose of those who are connecting with us for the first time, just for you to know about what our community is all about. Whisper is actually a community empowering women in FMCG and pharmaceutical sales across Africa. In our community, we actually believe that with the right support and clarity, that there are no limits to what we can actually achieve in our careers. And not without wasting much time, I also like to take this moment to appreciate all our distinguished speakers for today's event. We have Folakemi Odeshola, who is a vision clarity and execution coach. She's the one that is going to take us on today's section, and her expertise is actually helping professionals to gain direction and also for them to take action. And today we are going to have our first experience with her. Then we have our second also speaker today. We have Jimmy Curry. Jimmy is actually a business operation manager at Bell Pearls Limited. He's also a thought leader, popularly known on LinkedIn also. And he's going to bring all the valuable businesses tips we need and also in terms of leadership perspective. So over the next 2 hours, with their guidance, we're actually going to gain a lot of clarity on our career aspirations, also create a roadmap to how we need to be able to achieve this. So this workshop is not, it's not just designed, for us to learn, but we also designed for us to learn, practice this and also go back to be able to share this also with our team, because the objective for us is to be able to make sure we're inspiring our community and collectively we're also achieving our goal for us to grow professionally. So thank you everyone for joining. So whether you are aiming to advance your career in sales or marketing or leadership, just know that what we have today is really going to help you to get started. And I'm happy this is happening on first day of the month. And this is actually a very good way for us to start the month. Thank you all for attending, and thank you also, Marvelous, for moderating the section. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wambaka, for that wonderful introduction. Now, I'm guessing we might have some non-members of VIPSA. Yeah, if you are a non-member, well, you had Ms. Wambaka's introduction talking about the community of women that we have at VIPSA. Thank you very much once again. And now we'll be diving right into today's wonderful webinar. It's going to be talking about, as we know, design your dream. Now we're looking at our vision boards. If you've been following the newsletters, we're looking at vision boards and how to advance in your career. But something tells me that it's not just going to be about vision boards. It's not just going to be about, having those dreams. It's going to be about taking a step further, going out of your way, intentionally doing things that would help you to move forward. Now, we will have for our first speaker, we will have a seasoned operations director with 25 years of experience driving efficiency, growth, and sustainability in the FMCG and pharmaceutical industries. Currently leading operations at Bell Papyrus Limited Tissue Mill in Lagos, Nigeria. He has demonstrated expertise in supply chain optimization, business development, strategic planning, and team leadership across diverse markets in West Africa and Middle East. Now, I was talking to our speaker this morning and I had a lovely conversation with him. Now, one interesting fact you should definitely note is that he has spent 12 years in Nigeria. And one thing that I think I really love about him is the fact that he really appreciates the Nigerian culture. And, that goes a long way to say that Nigerians are beautiful people. So we'll be inviting to speak right this moment. We'll be inviting our first speaker of the day, Jamie Corey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marvelous, for this lovely introduction. I really appreciate. Thank you, everyone. First of all, I want to start by appreciating this opportunity to be speaking here. It's a real pleasure for me. And as you said, Marvelous, I have a unique love for this country. Ever since I came here 2012, I've been learning from Nigerians on a professional level and on the cultural level. That's why I will not hesitate any moment in exchange also to give from my personal professional experience and share it with everyone. So that's how we, close the gaps between cultures and we learn from each other's. So once again, thank you for giving me this wonderful, wonderful opportunity. I hope everybody will enjoy it, and we will make sure that this session is going to be very, very rich. And then the takeaways are going to be enormous, I think. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So I don't know if we can jump in and start, or there's something else you want to add before we dive into this amazing session. Marvelous.
Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, there's nothing more I want to add. I'm really looking forward to your session, talking about the challenges in FMCG, especially the females, and what it takes to thrive in the FMCG space. As I said, it's not just about having a dream, it's about doing something more. So we'll be looking forward to listening to Mr. James.
Exactly. Okay, let's dive in directly. First of all, if you allow me to just summarize a little bit the outline of what we are going to be discussing in this beautiful session. First, we are going to understand what is FMCG, just a quick notice. Then we are going to see what are the differences between the FMCG and other type of businesses. Okay, then, excuse me, then how to be a good sales rep in the FMCG. Then we are going to evaluate the sales of FMCG versus any other type of sales. You have indoor sales. Are they the same? We are going to tackle that also. And sorry, and to be more specific, we're going to dive into why the FMCG sales in general, they are more difficult than any other type of sales. We are going to tackle this in details. Then, how to be a good sales rep in the FMCG, what are the criteria needed, and then the challenges of the FMCG specifically in Nigeria, then specifically for the female sales rep in Nigeria. So we are going to dive deeper and deeper so that we put our finger on the problem and we see how we can develop our skills, what are the things we need to do, the things we need to avoid in order to be on the high professional level of being sales in the pharmaceutical and in the FMCG. Okay, then finally, we will get into how to design your dream vision board. Okay, we are going to tackle some steps into the design of your vision board. Okay, am I moving too fast or is okay? Marvelous. Is it okay like that? Is the pace of the...
It's okay. It's okay. It's not too fast.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So as a quick review, understanding the FMCG. What is the FMCG? They are products that are sold quickly and at a low cost. These are two important factors in the FMCG. So goods are sold quickly and at a low cost. It could be consumer products, it could be personal care, it could be anything that sells on the shelf in a fast pace. Okay, So it could be food and beverage, drinks, it could be household items. All these, we call them the FMCG. Now, what's the difference between FMCG and normal business? Let's say I'm a sales director or I'm a sales representative or I'm a marketing in FMCG. I need to understand what's unique about being in an FMCG, all right? So that I know the areas where I'm different from other type of businesses. In FMCG, we have very high volumes and low margin. Why I'm saying that? Because if you are a marketing person, not a sales, okay, I'm sure you know the difference between sales and marketing. We can tackle that if you want. Okay, if you are a marketing person into the FMCG, you have a certain budget. You need to put it into promotions, into offers. So now when you have a low margin into the FMCG, that means the promotion you need to do is limited in the budget when it comes to budget. All right. So we have high volumes of sales and low margin. And the cycle of the sales is so fast. What does it mean? If you are a sales in the FMCG and you visit a certain outlet, you should understand that the sales cycle is repeated so fast. I'm not selling cars, for example. I'm not working in a car showroom that it will take me a couple of weeks before I can sell a car and then order another one to replace it. All right. So the call cycle, which we mean by the visit of the outlet, they are very frequent and we're always under pressure. All right. So this is number two. Number three, in the FMCG business, we are always on the tough competition. And it's not only my brand. If I'm selling energy drink, it's not only my brand that is in the show, on the shelf. There are many other brands. So understanding that I have many competition to deal with is part of me being a sales rep in the FMCG. All right. Then FMCG normally, there are 2 points I want you to understand in FMCG. You cannot be working in FMCG without having 2 points in your pocket. Number one, something called visibility of your product. And number two is the availability of the products. So if I'm hiring, let me tell you something. If I'm hiring any sales rep, all right, into my team of FMCG sales, if he doesn't mention those 2 points, that he is eager to make sure the availability of the products on the shelf. Number two, if he doesn't mention that the visibility should be clear, we are going to tackle that. I will not consider him a professional FMCG sales. Are you getting me? So having those 2 pillars of FMCG is very essential. Even when you apply for jobs, you need to mention that. Even when you discuss with your management, you need to mention that, because this way you look like you know what you are doing. All right. Now, another point of just to close, what is the difference between FMCG and other business? Another point about the FMCG business, normally the shelf life of our products as an FMCG is sometimes limited. All right. Could be 2 months, 3 months, could be 1 year, 2 years, even in pharmaceutical, the same. I'm not talking like home appliances, all right? They don't have an expiry date or they don't have a shelf life. So this is something I have to be careful. So if I'm selling to a supermarket, I need to make sure I follow up on the expiry date of my products. Recently, I have witnessed a fight, seriously. I have witnessed a fight between a sales rep in one of the multinationals and the owner of a supermarket. Why? Because the sales rep failed to follow up on the shelf life of his product. So the owner of the supermarket will tell you the expiry date is your responsibility. He will put the blame on you, even though we know that it is his own responsibility to check the expiry date on the shelves. But he will be expecting from a professional, high world-class FMCG staff to be following up on the items on the shelf, knowing the expiry date and knowing how to replace them. Why? Because the owner of the supermarket would prefer, in this case, to buy from you, not to buy from us. All right. So Marvelous, am I okay? Is my voice clear and my speed, is it okay? Or do I need to adjust anything, or it's fine?
I think it's okay. It's okay.
All
It's
right.
okay.
All right. Very good. Sorry. Now, here comes the key point of this session: how to become a good representative in FMCG. All right, this is very important, and please, I want you to listen carefully, because there are so many details here that differentiate you from being a normal FMCG professional or a world-class FMCG professional. Now, during my career, I have learned to tell my salespeople, don't look at the sales success considering targets of sales. In other words, you as a sales rep, don't put in mind that my success is related to how much I'm selling or how many items I'm selling. All right, let it be clear. Let me repeat it, it's very critical. You being a sales rep in the FMCG, and you are doing a self-evaluation, or even me, if I'm evaluating a sales rep, I will not evaluate him or her based on how much money they generated or how much sales they have incurred. I'll tell you why. Now, what if I have a 20 cycle calls to do in a day? Every day, I'm supposed to visit 20 customers. All right? And I visited only one customer. And somehow I was able to put all my focus on this customer. All right? And then I ignored the remaining 19 other customers. Professionally speaking, this is not a healthy sales. All right? So let me break it down again. To be successful in the FMCG, first, make sure that you do your cycles correctly. If you have 20 cycles, 20 customers you are visiting on daily basis, make sure you visit them one by one. That's number one. Number two, make sure there is a compliance of the prices that the company has put. Let's say you are visiting, as I said, 20 customers. Make sure that all these 20 customers, they are putting the price that the company has told them to put it, to use it. But you don't want to have a fluctuation of price. It's very bad. Number three, make sure if you have given him promotional material, promotional items, make sure they are available. Number four, the most important part of being successful, look for your product availability, number one. And number two, where is it located? For example, you enter to a place, you ask him, do you have from my product? You still have? He will tell you yes. Many sales rep, they will just turn their back and go. No, you have to take one step further. Go and see where is your product. Are you getting me? So let me repeat. Number one, make sure your number of calls are done effectively. Number two, make sure your product is available. Number three, make sure it's available in the right place. I repeat, in the right place. I'll give you an example. Why in the right place? Let's take, for instance, a supermarket. Okay? And in this supermarket, we have 10 lines. All right? Please follow me. Each line, we have gondolas gondolas, you know, the shelves, we call it gondola, I'm sure you know. The gondolas we have on the right and on the left. So this is a passageway. We have 10 passageway in the supermarket, just an example. And we have in each passageway gondolas by the side, gondolas by the left side. Let's assume on the right side, we have 10 gondolas, and each gondola have 7 shelves. That means I have 70 by the right, 70 by the left, okay? That will make each passageway has 140 shelves, all right? Now multiply this 140 by the 10 lines of the supermarket. You already have 1,400 shelves in that supermarket, all right? Fine. What's the point? Why I'm saying that? Statistics in Nigeria shows the average time a consumer spent in any supermarket, if it is a female, is 25 to 30 minutes. These are statistics done in Nigeria. You can write it down. You can benefit from it. Female normally spends between 25 and 30 minutes on average. Some might spend more, some might spend less. On average, 25 to 30 minutes in the supermarket. Male, they have 20 minutes average time spent in this. All right? Out of this, remove 5 to 7 minutes, let's consider it 5 minutes, on the cashier. On average, there are small mini markets, you just go by and go. There are big supermarkets where you queue. So on average, we have 5 minutes. That means for ladies, we have 25 minutes time for the lady to be moving around the supermarket. We discussed before that we have 1,400 shelves that the female will be discovering, all right? Which means 25 minutes, if you multiply by 60 seconds for each minute, you are going to have 1,500 seconds. Why I'm telling you all these stories? That means if you are studying a female buyer, that means the female has 1.0 second to be looking at each shelf. Just like that. Which means if your product, I'm sorry to say that, if your product is on the lower shelf, she will not see it. If your product is on the higher shelf, she will not see it. Why? Because we did the math. We are talking statistics here. We did the math, and 1.07 is the time that she will spend looking at each shelf. So how would she notice your product? Or let me rephrase it. What is the probability for her to see your product if you, as a sales rep, you are not fighting with the management of that supermarket to make sure your product is on eye level? That's the key. Make sure, I repeat, make sure your product is on eye level in any supermarket, in any outlet. Otherwise, it will not be noticed. All right? So this is a very important point. Very, very important point. You have to understand it, and you have to be convinced that, okay, why is my boss always telling me, where's the shelf? Where's the eye level? Why my product is not on the eye level? Now, what is the challenge we have here? The challenge is we want eye level. The competition want eye level. Another person wants eye level. Who will win, in your opinion? I'll tell you who will win. Those who have excellent sales and merchandisers. Sales and merchandisers. Sometimes the company have to pay for the shelf to make sure their product is on the eye level. So you being a salesman, a sales rep in the FMCG, there's a big part of responsibility on your head. If I'm to evaluate one of my sales team in the FMCG, what I will do, I'll just visit one of his outlet or her outlet and check the availability of my product, the visibility of my products. Any of the two that is missing, I have a bad sales representative. So please put that in mind, because other than that, we'll be just delivery people. We are not delivery people. We are FMCG sales. Not anybody can handle the FMCG pressure. Are you getting me? Not anybody, whether male, whether female, whether young, whether old. FMCG is specific type of sales. And I'm going to say next, why? Okay, so I think we're done with that. Now, let me tell you why being a sales in the FMCG is different than being sales in any other industry. I'm a sales director for it. And I have an opening for, let's say, a sales vacancy in my company. Somebody applied with a CV, and on that CV, he or she mentioned that, okay, they were working in sales of, let's say, whatever sales, but indoor sales. Listen to me. Somebody applied to my company or any company that I'm a director, I'm a sales director, and on his CV, on her CV, they put that they've been working at indoor sales. I will not hire them. Why? As I said, FMCG sales, they are top people. There are people always under pressure. There are people constantly under pressure, whereby the indoor sales, he or she, they are sitting behind the desk, waiting for the customer to come to their comfort zone. And the FMCG is the opposite. It is you who is entering the customer's comfort zone. So being an FMCG sales, immediately you enter to a new client, you have 15 seconds. Write it down, please. Write it down. You have 15 seconds to detect what type of character the person I'm dealing with. Now, I don't know him before, just enter. You have 15 seconds, we call it the 15-second magic, to detect what type of person I'll be dealing with. You tell me, okay, why? Good. FMCG says they have to be the mirror of their customer, exactly the mirror of their customer. In other words, if your customer or if the customer you are visiting for the first time is a serious type of person, the character is very serious, very strict, and you enter, you are joking, you are making fun, hey, how is it? No, is a turn off in terms of business. It's a no-go area. It's a red flag. On the other hand, if your customer, immediately you stepped in, he start throwing jokes and he will start teasing you, politely I'm saying, teasing you, how's your day, how's your family, this and that, and you took a rigid, strong, strict character, you are not mirroring the customer, you fail. This is the challenge of being FMCG sales rep, whereby if you walk in a showroom for selling cars, for example, sitting behind your desk, there's another technique of being an effective indoor sales, totally different. Why? Because the customer is coming to your comfort zone. You are not stepping into his comfort zone. They are totally different techniques. That is why being a sales in the FMCG is something very unique in the whole world of sales. So sales is the big picture. We have categories in sales. FMCG is the toughest. Now, to go into more details is even toughest for ladies. It's even toughest for ladies. Why? For many reasons. as I said, they are constantly under pressure. I'm not saying female, they are not, they cannot take pressure. No, they can take pressure more than men. They are more organized than men. They think emotional and rational at the same time. That's the beauty of God's creation for creating a female. It's a combination, for me, it's a combination of emotions and rational at the same time. All right? So in between parentheses, for me, if you ask me my personal opinion, I believe HR in every company should be a female. That's another subject, because it's a mix of emotions and rational thinking. We are more rational, you know. Some places, even in sales, you need that emotional part, okay? Because you guys, the female, they have more tendency to be more emotional intelligent than we are. All right, this is my personal opinion. Let's not go there again. Let's move in. So we have, as I said, the physical stress on them. In many cases, they have to carry the goods, the products. You know, it's that's one challenge that they might have. Number two, because it is a too demanding work, sometimes they will have difficulty in balancing family life with the high demand, high time demand for the FMCG. It's one of the challenges also. Excuse me, for the female. Long working hours, frequent travel, really sometimes it makes it difficult for them to balance family responsibilities with the work. All right. In some few cases, we have seen some kind of resistance from some customers in just few cases where they would prefer to deal with male sales rep for whatever illogic reason they have. They might think that maybe they can put more influence on the management for additional discount, for more promotion. It doesn't make sense anyway. All right, so these are the challenges faced by being a woman in the FMCG. Okay. Now there are some ways that the woman can really try to get out of these challenges. Like they can try to build more strong relation with their customers, to prove that, see, it's not about getting more discounts from the management. I can be real backup in case you need anything from my company. I can really represent you in a correct, professional way and throw your problem on our management. They can do that with a good, strong relationship. Networking is also very, very important for female, specifically in the FMCG, like meeting with other professionals, trying to learn from them, meet other experienced saleswomen. Also, it makes a lot of sense. And they have to be, sometimes, I don't know how they can cope, but flexibility at work arrangement with their management. Sometimes there are some companies that are more flexible with time when it comes to female FMCG reps, representative. So these are the things that female, in my opinion, can overcome these challenges. All right. So any questions so far? Is everything okay? Am I moving too fast? Marvelous.
No, I think you're doing really great. Do you want to round up your session now, or you want to go on? Because we still have like 10 minutes, I guess.
Okay, let's. You want to? We can have questions if you like, or it's later on. If you have any
I think
section,
we
any
should have the, I
questions.
think we should have the questions before or after, rather, after you're done with your session, so that they
Okay,
can
I
do
think
more.
we have tackled the real essence of the FMCG hints, strategies, techniques. Okay, so yeah, I'm open for any questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Jimmy. Before we have the question and answer session, I just want to welcome our LinkedIn guests. For those who are joining in from LinkedIn, thank you very much for joining this event. You are really welcome to this webinar, and I hope you've been having a wonderful time so far. If you can, I think you should join in through the Zoom link. I think it's on the bio, I guess. Yes, it's on the bio, LinkedIn bio, website's LinkedIn bio. So you could join in through Zoom. And yes, thank you very much. So any questions, please? If you have any question, please let me see your hands up. And yes, we'll move on from there. Probably questions from the ins, the challenges, or something in general, something you've been wanting to know in regards to FMCG, sales in pharmacy or pharmaceutical world and pharma world. Questions are entertained, please. Thank you very much. Any questions, please? No questions? Okay, so we have one from Miss Jennifer. Okay, it says, how best can a female middle manager in the FMCG company navigate quickly to a senior position? Jimmy, should I take that again?
Yes, please. I couldn't hear you very well.
Okay. How best can a female middle manager in the FMCG company navigate quickly to a senior position? Did you get that?
Yeah. Who asked this question, please?
Miss Jennifer. I think I'm also curious
Okay.
about this. Yes.
Wow. It's an amazing question, actually. It's a wonderful question, actually. Let me tell you something. First, definitely, she should have the base ground of being a sales rep. She should have started from the bottom upwards. All right. Let's say now she's in the middle level. Maybe that's the question: how to move a little more upper into more managerial position in the FMCG.
Yes.
The key here is, I will summarize everything, is data analysis. How strong you are in analyzing the data from the market, because now you are no more into the direct contact with the sales. Now you are the one who is reading the figures. You are the one who's analyzing the figures coming from the market. All right. So the more you learn about data analyst, the more you know how to interpret the information that comes from the market to your table. That's one. Number two, the more you know what type of questions that you need to ask to gather this information. For instance, let's assume you joined a company in FMCG. You left your company in FMCG. You moved to another company.
Jimmy, we can't hear you. Your mic is muted, Jimmy. Okay,
Is it
we
okay
can.
now?
I think it's yes, it's okay now.
Was it muted from the beginning?
No. It wasn't muted from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just while we were. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So as I was saying is, if you decide to jump into a higher position in sales of the FMCG and go into higher managerial position, the first thing you need to know is to design data collection and to know how to analyze it. The more you know how to analyze the data, you have to know how to analyze the data that comes from the market to your table. I can give thousands of examples. Now, in some cases, the data is not there. So how do you climb? You have to prove to the management that you know what are the information that you need from the market. That's very important, and it's a course by itself. It's a course by itself. But to be short in my answer, you need to know how to analyze the data, which product is selling in which state, who is the salesman who is selling most of this product, which product is making more profit to the company. Are we to push this product or this product? Are you getting me? These are strategic management reports that will bring you to another level. If you prove to the management that, okay, you see, you are no more into the direct sales, you are not just a sales supervisor, you just follow the salesman, make sure he's doing the call cycle on regular basis. You want to jump into a higher level is through data analysis. I hope I answered.
Yes, yes, I think you answered the question. Miss Jennifer, is that okay? I think while she gives us a response, is any other person with a question? Probably those streaming from LinkedIn. Yeah, I think if you have a question from, I think those who are streaming from LinkedIn, if you have a question, Godwin, how are we gonna get the question? Because I'm connecting from Zoom. But I think we should just
Are you charging for the questions?
no.
I thought you
I'm
are
just
charging
saying
money for it.
no, definitely not. I mean, that
Yeah,
would
I'm
be
just
like,
kidding.
oh, I could be taking a sales course per se, we're still talking about sales, but yeah, I'm not charging for the question. But yes,
Yeah.
okay, I think Miss Jennifer's question has been answered. Any other person with a question? Any other person? You can unmute your mic if you have a question.
Okay, marvelous. If there's no question, do you mind if I throw like 1 or 2 questions to our attendees? Maybe it will make it more active.
Yes. No, I do not mind at all. Please go on.
Okay, let me start by throwing one question to Miss Agostino. Can you hear me? You have a beautiful smile. You have a beautiful smile. Okay, can you please name one challenge you have in being into FMCG sales? What is your main challenge that you encounter on regular basis?
Okay. Well, to me, to myself personally, I think self-motivated, because sometimes I do get scared in negative response from customers or people that I'm dealing with. So to me, it has to be bold enough to face people, especially face customers, and be able to give them exact services that they need so far. So that's my
Okay,
yeah.
you mean you are scared from rejection?
Yes, of course, yes.
Marvelous. Do we still have time to answer this very important?
Yes.
We still have time.
You concluded early, so you had like 10 minutes before your session was up, and then we also have 10 minutes for the question and answer period. So yes, we still have time for.
All right. Let me tell you something. Okay. I learned how to break this ice with my salespeople. How? And I want everybody here that is listening to, once they move into, by God's grace, everybody will move upwards. Once you move into a managerial position, I want you to do this. When you hire someone as a sales rep, all right, tell him I need, when he starts or when she starts going into the market, don't tell him I need 5 sales or 10 sales or 15 sales. Tell him or tell her I need 10 rejections. Go to the market. Go try to sell this product. It's a very difficult, let's say this product is very difficult to sell it. Go, don't sell it. Come back with 10 rejections. Give him a target of rejection. And ask them, how did you answer this type of rejection? So what do you do in this case? What are you trying to do in this case? You are eliminating that number one challenge for all salespeople. What's the main challenge for all salespeople? Rejection. So you being a sales manager or a director or a supervisor, and you want to break that ice, what do? You throw them into the fire. Go and bring 5 rejections. I don't want you to sell today. I want to see people rejecting our product. So when you do that for, let's say, a week or 10 days, all right, those new people are going to the market, visiting customer and getting rejected. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Now they develop the resistance against rejection. They won't be so sensitive about being rejected. They will not take it personal anymore. They are rejecting the product. They are not rejecting me. Clear? Agostina, did I answer you?
And you in fact, you did justice to it. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
so yes, I think I should say again. Well, Augustina, that was a very lovely it wasn't a question, was it? I don't know. Well, thank you, Jimmy, for throwing that out. Augustina probably wouldn't have said anything if you hadn't shown that out. So yes, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you so much. So for those joining on LinkedIn, once again, please can you connect with us? Can you connect on Zoom to us in the caption? Thank you very much. It's in the link in the caption. Yes. Thank you very much. Any other question? Perhaps something is bothering you about FMCG or being a sales staff. Well,
Yes.
okay.
I wanted to ask a question, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Augustine, please can you mute your mic, please?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can.
Okay, Mr. Jimmy, it's good to be here with you.
Thank
Good
you.
to hear
Thank
you
you.
speak. Thank you so much for I learned a lot. I wanted to ask, when you were talking about, you talked about expiry date, visibility and availability of products. I
Yes.
wanted to ask that, and you also gave us like a very very direct example of how you told us that the expiry date of the goods is the responsibility of the owner of the product. Is there a case where the expiry date and then the visibility, top shelf, middle shelf, bottom shelf, and all of that, and then the time that it takes for people to notice those products? Is there a situation, are there cases where owners of supermarkets would actually put a preference on some certain products? Like maybe, and would it be based on an emotional issue? Like would they, because if they put some products in the areas where they know that people would get them first.
I'm smiling. Continue. I'll tell you why I'm smiling.
I would expect that it would be because those are the best sellers. But is it possible for that to be an emotional decision? Oh, my friend owns this brand, so I'm going to put this brand in this position. Would that be, could that happen?
Oh, you guys are tough, huh? What you ask now is the core problems of FMCG in any supermarket. Let me explain to you. Now, I think we have many people here in the participants, and I want all of you, please, by the time we finish this section, I'm sure everybody to be here is looking to develop and upskill their own knowledge. I want you to go and learn something called category management. Write it down, please. There's something called category management. Now, let me answer this wonderful question. Now, let's say me and Marvelous. Marvelous is selling a product that people know, okay? And people are used to it. And you, Mrs. Folakemi, you are the owner of the supermarket. Now, Marvelous, she owns a product and it's generating so much revenue to you. So her product is moving on fast. All right? Now, one stupid Oyibo like me came, you don't know him, and he said, please, I want to put my product, which is new in Nigeria, nobody knows about it, okay? And I want you to put it in the place of marvelous product. All right? So in normal cases, your first reaction, you will go to your system. You go and review your category management. You will see the turnover of marvelous product. No, marvelous product is generating more sales. How can I put her down and bring Jimmy's product, put it on the shelf? Nobody knows about him. All right? In this case, listen to me. In this case, you will charge me for putting my product on the shelf. Whether whether it was selling, whether it was not selling, you are replacing somebody that has a fast-moving turnover with someone new like me, and I want to put it on the eye level. And you, as a supermarket, as the outlet owner, you want to make profit. And Marvelous is making you to make more profit. What do you do in this case? You will charge me, and you tell me, for me to put your product on the eye level, you have to pay a certain fees. Why? To compensate on Marvelous product. Now, let me go more details. If me and Marvelous, we are two competitors, my product is selling too much, her product is selling too much, and you are benefiting from my product and her product, which priority would you give? Who will win the eye level shelf? Who? Let me tell you, let me answer you. The people who have the stronger sales and merchandiser. If my sales and merchandiser are tougher than Marvelous sales and merchandisers, we will push her product and put our own. Because her sales rep, they visit this outlet once every 2 weeks. So my people are visiting it regularly. So they will put my product on the shelf. So it is a merchandising war. Are you getting me? Because the two are selling at the same pace. All right? So it's a very important question, and it really tackles the core of the FMCG in the supermarket or in any outlet. All right? I hope I answered you.
You did. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Folakam, for that wonderful question. Thank you, Jimmy, for this wonderful session. As we bring it to a close, wow, I learned a lot. And one thing I can
I'm
definitely
happy. I'm very happy.
Yeah, and one thing I can definitely say that some of the takeaways you gave us today are not just things that can be applied to FMCG. Yeah, things that can be applied to our personal lives. Like, you talked about availability and visibility. Like, let's use LinkedIn, for example. If you don't well, in quotes, if you don't consistently show up, for your audience, how do you want them to know that you are offering something, you have something to offer? And if you're not available to meet the demand, how would you be able to supply something like that? So yes, thank you so much, Jimmy, for that wonderful session. I really enjoyed it. Now, before we move on, if your eyes are not so busy, please can you clap your virtual hands? I know this is not a physical meeting, to tell Mr. Jimmy, thank you so much. I can see Miss Augustina laughing and smiling. Yes, she is so happy. Yeah, so our LinkedIn audience, thank you so much. I hope you really enjoyed that session as much as I did. Okay, so now we are moving to the main event and the practical session. Have you heard of the vision board, Queen? Because I kid you not, this session is gonna be packed. Okay, so we have the vision board queen in our midst, a personal development coach with over 8 years of experience. She empowers ambitious women to, ambitious individuals and women to achieve their dreams through vision boards and workshops. Our programs have helped people launch business, advance, and create sustainable growth. Falakame is passionate about empowering women and multi-passionate to overcome challenges and live purposefully. Now, I think one thing I might have in similarity with Ms. Kemi is the fact that she enjoys her ease and rest. Please, one thing I tell my close friends, or one thing, okay, I think I should mention this. Okay, so I have a dream to have a very nice vacation at the Maldives. Yes. Okay, so I want to, chill and have fun. But then, as I said, it's not just having a dream. How can I actualize that dream? How can I bring it to fruition? Because I can just go to the embassy and say, hey, hello, please give me a visa. No, I would have to even pay. There are some certain steps that have to be taken to, for me to achieve that dream of going to Maldives. Yes, and sponsorships are also open if you want to, sponsor my trip. But that's on a side note. Yes, please, audience from the LinkedIn, audience from the Zoom, if your virtual hands are not too busy, you can just send a clapping emoji as we welcome Falakemi Odeshola. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Marvelous. Thank you to everyone who's here in the room. Thank you to Miss Jennifer, who made sure that I was here today. Mr. Jimmy, thank you so much, because I actually learned a lot, from the things that you said. And one of the things that really struck me in what you said was the challenges that women in FMCG go through. You talked about the physical stress of carrying the goods, talked about balancing, their own, maybe family, their own personal, things. You talked about resistance from customers sometimes, maybe preferring, to deal with a male, colleague or counterpart. It's not just in these industries, in every industry. So I actually work in a male-dominated industry. So sometimes I face, these things as well. I'm an architect and a designer as well. So construction is a very is a place where, there's that male domination sometimes. But I would say that, there's always a way to thrive. And I like the solutions that you preferred, and the solution is not far from, you said something about, analysis, really becoming strategic about, the data, analyzing the data. And that's where, and when you analyze the data, it gets you to where you're going. And I really like, that I like that answer, because it's not in the solution is not in the emotions, it's not in how you feel about, what you're going through. The world is not fair to me, and this and that and everything like that. The solution is actually in the data. It's actually in doing the work. It's about being logical and, there are so many women, in different industries, FMCG, included, that will thrive. They will thrive if they just, look at this data and just be more logical, about the steps that they take to achieving, their vision. And that's one of the things that that I'm going to be stressing on today. I'm going to actually give you like a solution, to actualizing your dreams. Right. It's very important. So we always have dreams, majority of us, have dreams, but how do we achieve these dreams? Very, very important for us to understand how we achieve dreams. So I'm going to be sharing, some notes, and the things that I'm going to be sharing with you is going to be in two parts. And I pray that, I hope that there's going to be enough time. I've had to compress my notes. I have like, because I've been doing this for a while, slides that are like over 150, but of course we have to keep it, really brief and just hit the nail on the head. So I'm going to do this in two parts. The first part, I'm going to talk to you about vision boards, just introduce, vision boards to you, let you know what they are. And then in the second part, I'm going to talk to you more about execution. Right, more about execution, like how can I, execute my dreams? How can I go from being clear about my dreams to executing my dreams? So I'm going to, take you through all of that, and hopefully by the time we are done, you can now, you can now move on to. So I like the question that Ms. Jennifer also asked, because this particular roadmap that I'm going to share with you will also, add like a thing or two to, how you can, move up the ladder. And I know there are a lot of people here who are very passionate about that. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Let me see if, let me see. I'm going to be sharing my screen. Please let me know once you can see the screen. You can see it. I don't know if I have permission to share. Okay, I do. Okay. Oh, that's my okay.
Okay.
I
Yes, we can see
you
it.
can.
Just pull up. Yes,
All
we
right.
can see it.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to just be talking about vision boards, first and foremost, and then the next one I will now, the second part I'll talk about, how to go for. So the vision boards actually make you clear about, your vision. It really depends, some of them, there's a way that people build, vision boards that will make them, you get different results based on the level of growth, where you are and what you want, right? So if you use a vision board, when you are not so you're not so clear. Maybe you are at the entry level, maybe in the FMCG industry or something. What the vision board will do for you is that it will give you clarity. But if you have some clarity about this industry, where you are, where you want to go, you've had some experience and all of that. If you use a vision board and use it properly, it will make you it will be a tool for you that helps you to execute your dreams. So, and I'm going to be talking about, vision boards that will give you, clarity, and the one that will make you execute your dreams. I'll talk about that as we go along. So I'm going to talk to you about vision boards, the types, how they work, how you create, there's one that I call the execution vision board, which I'm very biased about. That's the one that I really want everybody to build. So let's just move on. A vision board is a visual representation of your vision. So, what is your vision, in FMCG? What's your vision, in this space? What's your vision, talking about your goods in the supermarket, your sales? What is your vision, in this industry? What do you want? Your vision reflects who you want to be, what you want to do, what you want to have, what you want to create, and what you want to experience in the near or distant future. A vision board is a powerful tool that helps you to capture, and express your vision, right? It also provides an opportunity for you to step into your future, right from, where you are right now. So it gives you the opportunity to express, what you want, and then allows you to actually explore, and step into that future and just begin to act, in that manner till you see the physical manifestation. So that's the thing about a vision board. This is what a physical vision board, looks like sometimes. It has like a frame, it has, words, pictures, and all of that. Pictures that represent how you want to feel. And those pictures, when you look at them from time to time, they invoke, these feelings, in you. So it's how I want to feel, but I've captured that thing and I've put it on the vision board. It keeps on invoking that feeling. Sometimes I use a backing board. I color code mine because I create my vision board for different aspects of my life. So I color code. But anybody who is creating for just one area of life, it's okay for the person to just, create, like that. You have words, that remind you of your desires and they keep you accountable as well. I'm a creative, so I like to embellish and do some, some craft work and all of that. So I embellish mine as well. But the most important thing is, the words, the pictures, the images, and the feeling that they invoke in you. And the fact that it's a reminder, of what you want to do, where you want to be. There are different categories of vision boards, and I'm doing this starting from scratch because of, I don't want to assume that there are people who absolutely know about vision boards. There are people who do, but there may be somebody here who does not know, enough about a vision board. And that's the reason why I'm starting from here, right? There are different categories, and the categories are just, there are different types and they are based on categories. You have, the format, you have information, ownership, and clarity. Under vision boards based on format, you have your physical vision board, your digital vision board. You have the one that is based on information, ownership, and clarity. Let me just move forward to so the information one, you have a life overview vision board. A life overview vision board is a vision board that talks about that shows information about your entire life. And that's the type that I just showed you now. There's a life department vision board, which is just taking one area of your life. So for example, it could be your career or your business. So your career or business in FMCG, you could just, capture for just that and put it on vision board. It could be for finance. You could just capture that, and put it on the vision board. So my finance, like, how do I want to, manage, and multiply my money, in the FMCG, space? Like, how do I want to go about that? It's also, so that's like a cross between career and finance. right? It could also be a personal development vision board, you know, for like different areas. It could be a personal development vision board. So how do I want to develop myself? You know, and Mr. Jimmy also mentioned some things about, you know, when he talked about the data and all of that, and then he said there are courses that people take to do that. So that's personal development. So developing yourself personally in, you know, in this field, you know, makes you to, you know, do better. So you could have like a department vision board, like, oh, these are the things I want to do, you know, in this space, you know, to develop myself. You could make a vision board of that. There could be like a project vision board. Oh, a project vision board, I want to storm, you know, so and so supermarket and all of that. And I'm putting everything down. And so I put the names or the logos of this supermarket like on the board and all of that. And these are the things that I'm aiming for, you know. So a vision board can be used in different ways, you know. There's also the ownership one, you know. It could be your own, it could be collective. So you could be working with a team, you know, in a company that, you know, with a team, and the collective team can make a vision board, you know, based on the dreams and the visions that they have, the goals that they want to achieve. There is a vision board that is called the clarity vision. There are types of vision boards called the clarity vision boards, which is they are the ones that actually, so these are dream vision boards, execution vision boards, or fusion. Fusion is like somewhere in between the dream and the execution vision boards. But I'm going to be focusing a lot on the dream and the execution, and a lot more on the execution vision board as I move forward. So these are the different types of, you know, vision boards. And I should mention here that your vision board is always going to pick something from each of these categories. So you can make like a physical, life department, personal vision board, right? A physical, so it's always going to, you know, cross, you know, the categories. Now, do vision boards work? Because a lot of people will just say, oh, these are just, you know, images that you paste somewhere and all of that. How do they actually work? Well, these are, you know, testimonials from real people, stories from real people. The person says, I experienced happiness and fulfillment in my career, right? So she got, you know, a platform that allows her to participate, you know, in giving back to society. And she embarked on like international travel with her company. She also experienced a lot of happiness and fulfillment in her career just because she sat down and asked herself, what do I really want? She captured that, you know, put it on a vision board. This person, Wani, said, my goals for the year are offshoots of my vision board. So vision board for her was something that was a strategic tool in helping her align, you know, her mind, helping her to stay focused on the things that she wanted to achieve. This person said, it forced me to articulate my passions, my plans, and my purpose. You know, a lot of times we know these things, but they are just floating somewhere in our headspace. So it, you know, the process of building the vision board, you know, helped her to, you know, articulate her passions, her plans, her purpose, and then, you know, helped her to also visualize it. Right. This other person said, I started my craft business. And so there are people here who haven't, you know, launched into the FMCG space, but want to do so. A vision board is a tool that can actually help you to start that particular business, right? And she said, I pushed out products and I'm not scared of the future. This person said, it helped me stay accountable to my goals for the year. And this person said, the process opened me up and I realized there was a calling on my life, you know. So you could find that you are called to much more than just sales, you know, in the FMCG space, but also impact. And I believe that part of what Mr. Jimmy did today was impact. You know, so apart from being like, you know, that professional in the FMCG space, you could also impact other people by giving back, by teaching them, you know, strategies that work and things like that. So people can actually find, you know, a space for impact right here in this industry, you know. So that's, you know, like what she meant when she said she realized there was a calling, you know, on her life. This person said the simple project, it was just a simple project, but it has left him in awe. So he was able to, you know, get a routine, have a routine. He arranged, you know, the board according to, you know, different, you know, areas of his life. And it just had like really good effects for him. This person was able to leave her 9 to 5 and start her own business. So there are things that people can, you know, achieve, you know, different people can achieve. Now, how does the vision board really work? You know, you're here right now, you know, this is, so if you haven't built a vision board, this is where you are, that's your present life. And, you know, it just takes you to your desired future. And how does it do that? So this green over here, let's imagine that that's your vision board. When you build your vision board, what you do, what it does for you is that it helps you to visualize your success And then it helps you to not just visualize your success, but it helps you to add intentional action. Now you have to take those actions, right? But it puts you in a place where the action is, it's just a low-hanging fruit for you, because I can see what I want to do. So it's easy for me to take action, right? And it's easy for me to grab opportunities that fall in line, that align with the success that I have visualized. So, but if I haven't visualized it, I don't know it, I can't see it, I'm not clear about it. When these opportunities come, then I don't know to take them. When the opportunities come, or when I'm supposed to act and do something, I don't know that I'm supposed to act. But if I create my vision board and I look at it, it gives me clarity. So when you visualize it, there's clarity and repetition. Repetition because you see it every day. I keep on looking at it. I know that this is what I want to do. And it really has a great effect on your subconscious mind, because they wake you up in your sleep, you know what you want. They did it, you know what you want. So at the end of the day, it starts to, align you in a certain way. You know who to associate with, you know who to partner with, you know who to move with, you know the people not to, really waste so much time with. If you're really serious about your career, and, the financial goals or whatever it is that you have within, the FMCG space. Another thing that the vision board does for you is that, like I said, it makes intentional action a low-hanging fruit, because you're already clear. So it's easy for you to act. And seeing this thing every day, gives you a sense of responsibility. Oh, I'm responsible for this thing. This is the thing that I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. And then, when you start acting on it, if it seems as if it's not happening, you become resilient, and that's where grit comes in. So responsibility and grit, and that's how intentional action, comes about. So your present life, you're here and you want to go to your desired future. You build your vision board. What your vision board does for you is that it gives you alignment and focus, and it gives you confidence, because I know what I want. I'm confident about what I want. I'm focused on it. I can see it every day. And then it's in alignment with where you're going, right? So your goals are aligned. Everything is aligned, so it puts you in alignment, gives you focus, and then gives you confidence. That's how the vision board works. That's how it works. So people just see like this pretty board and pretty pictures, but there's also like a logical, scientific part, to how it actually works, right? So, but it's not everybody that the vision board works for. Why doesn't it work, for everybody? So why don't vision boards fully work for some people? Now, the thing is that, and this is where I told you I was going to focus on two types of vision boards, and then really place emphasis on the second, part. So the dreamer vision board, sometimes when people want to build vision boards, and if you're here and you've attended any vision board workshop or session or something, it's very possible that that's how they actually, facilitated that, or that's how they, they did that. Sometimes your vision board and facilitator would say, oh, open up your magazines. People use magazines and clippings and things like that, and then begin to cut images that call out to you, right? It's not filtered or anything. They just say, oh, it's spontaneous, just cut images that call out to you and all of that. So you begin to select these words that resonate with you intuitively, right? And then you cut them out and then you paste them on the board, right? And I can tell a vision board that was prepared, that was done that way, when I look at it. I can tell when I look at it, because it would seem like it was just like a craft project and people just put things together. And I can tell a vision board that was created through thoughtful, intentional introspection. I can tell when I see it. Just by looking at it, I can tell. So because the things that I will see pasted on that board, they are carefully filtered. Like, is your dreams, is your desires, these are your goals, your visions, but they are carefully filtered. They are categorized through its introspection. You kind of meditated on this, like you sat down, you meditated on it. Like, what do I really want? Who do I want to be in this space? What are the things I want to do? What do I want to have in the FMCG space? What do I want to create in this space? What do I want to, experience in this space? Do I want, to experience people just, treating me, and because we talked about, what women go through. So you have the opportunity to actually rewrite the kind of experience that you want. Rewrite your experience. What have you experienced before? Rewrite your experience. And a good way to capture who you want to be, what you want to do, how create an experience, and how you want it to be expressed on the outside, is to actually think of what you are going through right now. So who do I want to be? Who are you right now? What do I want to do? What exactly are you doing right now in this space? What are you doing? Because it's good for us to go to a place where we're doing like an audit or an overview, of what's going on before we start to project into the future, right? So who do I want to be? What do I want to do? What do I want to create? What are you creating right now? What do I want to, experience? What are you experiencing right now? And that gives you, if it's not something that you like, it's not something that, makes you happy, then you can see that there's a gap, between where you are and where you want to be, which is point A and point B that I talked about. And that is enough information for you to say, I want to change it. I want to move up the ladder. I want to be doing, better, where I am. So, that's just it. And this is like a full, just, the differences between a vision board that is created, with just, oh, okay, let me just open up the magazine and just paste the things. And when you actually sit down and you prioritize, and you introspect and you go through a process, a deliberate introspective process, and you are able to ensure that you are in alignment with where you want to be, right? This one is free flowing and creative, focuses on exploration and discovery. Like I said, if you create a vision board that way, not like it won't work, but it's just going to make you just going to give you clarity. Like it's more of a self-awareness and discovery vision board. Oh, okay, these are the things I'm thinking about in my head. I didn't know that I was having these thoughts or anything like that. These are things and that would be more for people who are not very used. So I'm married, I have children. My children know that I have thinking time. So they say it, they say, oh, mommy has thinking time. If someone is coming, they say, ah, no, don't disturb mommy. Mommy, my son is coming. My daughter says, oh, mommy is having a thinking time, because it's very important for anybody who is going somewhere. You have to be able to sit, sometimes about this industry, this thing that you are doing, this place where you are, this life that you're living. You have to be able to introspect. You have to be able to sit down and think and say, okay, where do I want to be? And so this one that is just for self-awareness, it's ideal for people who are just exploring possibilities. So I don't really know what's possible for me in the FMCG space. Let me just explore. It's about brainstorming, connecting with your inner desires. It's an open-ended thing. But for the people who will create, the execution vision board or the executor's vision board, these are people who are ready to take intentional steps. And so for the question that Ms. Jennifer asked, where she said, oh, how do I move up to managerial level, or how do people move up? This is the kind of vision board that I would advise. These are the kind of vision boards that people create when they are ready to take intentional steps towards achieving their visions, and they want a clear visual roadmap. So that's the kind of one that I would advise. And to further deepen the understanding about these two vision boards, I would say that when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So when people don't really know that they're different, so we could build vision boards, you and I. And people will say, oh, beautiful picture is a vision board or anything, but is the information really doing anything to get you to the next stage, in life? So the information that you put on your vision board is very important. And how do you get that information? It's either you just say, oh, I'm just going to be spontaneous about it, or you actually sit and you're introspective, and then you're logical about what you're putting on your board. So when you do not know the normal use, the purpose of a thing, you will abuse it. And abuse just means abnormal use. So people will create vision boards that they would build vision boards that are the dreamer vision boards, right? This particular one here, and they will say, oh, I want it to work for me like the execution vision board, and say, oh, why is it that I'm not able to achieve this dream with the execution vision board? Well, when you created it, the way you created it, the process that you went through, to create it was different. Right. And so that process is something that just makes you aware. It's just like, and personally, I feel that it's useful in some instances, but sometimes it could be almost a waste of time, if you are, if what you want is immediate action. But if what you want is just to fully understand, where your mind is at, where is my mind concerning this thing? I'm not so clear. I want clarity. Then you can build the first type of board. But if you want action, intentional action, execution, then you build the second type. Right? So it won't work for what it wasn't created for. That's what I'm just trying to say in essence. So that's an important question for you right now. Like, what kind of vision board do you want to build? Do you want to build a vision board for free expression, exploration that enables you to just discover yourself, get aware, become aware of yourself? Or do you want to build one that is for alignment, focus, and confidence, one that drives execution? So that's an important question to ask anybody who is considering, building a vision board. And I want to say something. I want to say that, like I said earlier, that the growth level or the growth stage you are at would sometimes determines the kind of vision board that you build. And that's because unconsciously, if you are not at a certain growth stage, And when let me move up, let me see if I can quickly go. I will come back, but let me see if I can quickly go to like a growth stage. Yeah. So a growth level. So there are different people and different growth levels. There is a growth level that is called, well, it's not a growth level, it's a non-growth level actually. This is not even on the ladder at all. It's called, this person is called a drifter. A drifter is somebody who doesn't have clear direction, no clear purpose. The person doesn't, they just jump from one idea to another without making significant process. And I don't think the FMCG space is a space to just see somebody, oh, someone is doing something and I feel like I can do it too, and I just jump into it and I do it. No, I think that this is a business, because when Mr. Jimmy was speaking, he actually talked about a lot of very serious things to consider. When it's not just an industry where, a lot of people say, oh, I bought these goods and I put them here and they sold and all of that. There's a lot of strategy and a lot of, steps and stages and, nuances and, twists and turns, that go into giving your products visibility, and ensuring that these products are available, right? So it's not a place where you just come and you're just drifting, and all of that. And so there are some people who actually are dreamers, I have a dream, I see the possibility of a better future, but I struggle with, implementing these possibilities. And there's somebody here who might be at that level. I'm a woman, in FMCG space, and, I have dreams and all of that, but I struggle with implementing those dreams. There will be someone else who is an analyzer, and this person is maybe prone to analysis paralysis. Why? Because this person, you already know what you want, but you're just still planning and planning and planning. Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, but this person needs to actually make decisions, needs to take action, needs to be accountable. These are the things I said I wanted to do in the first quarter of the year. Have I done them in the second quarter of the year? And if I don't do them if I don't do it in the first quarter and I'm late and I don't even do it in the second quarter, by the fourth quarter of the year, am I going to be able to achieve what I wanted to achieve at the beginning or in the year? So it's more of strategic thinking when you get to this phase. The executor, this execution, place is where people want to be. This is where you want to be. An executor is somebody who is highly action-oriented and results-driven. So these are people who are decisive, they are proactive, they are effective in implementing plans till completion, once it is clear. Now, let me state here that to be an executor, you don't have to have all these skills, all by yourself. To be decisive, to be proactive, to implement the plans, and to complete once it's clear. You can leverage and partner with people. Your own strength might be in, oh, I come up with the big dreams and all of that. Then you have a partner who can take the action for you. You have another one who can do the strategic thinking, which is what this person will do in this space. Then you have someone else who is very good, who is a mover and a shaker, and who is good to go. At the end of the day, all three people become executors. They are partners in this thing. They've executed it. Everybody's just going to look at, it's a win-win for everybody. So it's not about, and I think a lot of people in becoming successful think that it is that you have to do it, I have to be all in all, and that's why, I'm going to also stress on the importance of accountability and support, even in becoming successful in as somebody in this industry, right? Let me just back up a little bit, and just come back, to where I was before. That question of why, of what kind of vision board you want to build is where I was. So I'm going to move on from there. And this is going to be the second part. I'm going to take questions to part 1 and part 2 together. So please, if you have any questions, you could just, write them down and then wait for Miss Marvelous to tell you what to do with them. Maybe unmute you, you speak, or you put them in the comments. So, but if you have questions, please just note them, because we just ended part 1 and we're going into part 2, so that you don't, forget maybe what you would have wanted to ask in the first part. So in this second part, I'm going to talk to you about how to go from clarity of vision. Remember that I said that your vision board, so you see the one that is the dreamer's vision board and the executor's vision board is still going to, so the dreamer's vision board gives you clarity, right? Self-awareness, and all of that. The execution vision board, executor's one, it gives you clarity, but also teaches you, it's an execution or an action-ready vision board. So it gives you clarity, but moves you a step further to how you can actually actualize those dreams. So I'm going to talk to you about how to go from clarity of vision to steady execution, right? And let me just clarify. Let me just talk about terms, definition of terms. Clarity is the ability for you to understand your desires and your dreams, right? These are the things you want. It's the ability for you to have a clear picture of your vision without getting confused, without getting distracted, without it being vague. You know what it means when something is ambiguous, like it's not clear, it's vague. Clarity is something that, it allows you to, you articulate your desires, your goals, in simple terms. I know what I want. What do you want? And you just say it, that's having clarity. Execution is the process of taking action to turn these visions and dreams and desires you're clear about into reality. And it involves following through, with your vision aligned goals. And I talk about vision aligned goals, I will explain, later. There are a lot of goals that we have and that we set that are not aligned with our vision for, the vision for the year or the vision of what we want. Remember, I said your vision is who you want to be, what you want to do, have, create, experience, express in this FMCG space, right? And then maybe in your life as well. So everything I talk to you about, even though it's going to be focused on the industry, it's also going to be focused on your personal life, because women go through a lot. Women go through self-doubt, and I think I picked that up when Mr. Jimmy asked the question, the person who asked that question, who talked about it, what she said, struck me as, somebody who is, who maybe struggles with what's it called now? Struggles with self-doubt, sometimes, struggle with self, and I think it's completely okay. A lot of people, struggle with self-doubt. So, but I'm talking about, these are things that women go. Women also struggle with overwhelm, because you are juggling so many activities. You're not just in the FMCG space. You are probably, you are in a relationship. You are, sister, mother to somebody, or friend, someone. You have your personal life, and all of that. You also have different areas of your life that are popping up, simultaneously. And all of that. So life in itself sometimes can become very overwhelming if somebody doesn't have a route or a way to actually tackle it. So everything I'm going to be you in, just gives you direction, gives you based on, this thing. Steady execution. What's the difference between execution and steady execution? Steady execution. So we talked about execution, right? That's following, these are your goals. But steady execution is the practice of consistently implementing actions over time. So there's something about consistency there, maintaining focus. And this is your drive, you are driven, you have resilience. You know that things are going to come your way, but you're not going to, be deterred by that. You're going to keep moving forward. So there's a difference, between execution and steady, execution, right? Steady execution emphasizes sustainability, discipline, balance, a balanced approach to achieving long-term success. That is what steady execution, is about. Now, how do we go from clarity to execution? The journey of transforming a clear vision into consistent, purposeful action. It starts with gaining clarity, like you talked about before. Starts with gaining clarity. Then it now progresses into a strategic process. Like you are setting priorities, you are creating plans, you are following through, with disciplined action, and all of that. And that's how you go from clarity to steady execution. Clarity to steady execution is about bridging the gap between you knowing what you want and you consistently doing what it takes to get to where you want to get to. That's what it means, right? And so I'm going to introduce you now to my system, my method that I use in teaching people this. So this was where I was just talking about, managing life as a female in FMCG, thriving in the fast-paced industry. Mr. Jimmy already did a very great job in talking about the challenges, that women go through. Being a woman in the FMCG, you have workplace expectations. There's also leadership dynamics. There's personal fulfillment too, So you have to do all of this. It's a very fast-paced industry. He talked about the targets, the pressure in that industry. Sometimes women getting looked over, sometimes, not being able to physically, carry or move those goods. So there's high pressure in the work environment, and it can be very overwhelming. But through the vision clarity, through vision clarity and execution, you can, be empowered, to manage these demands with strength, resilience, a clear sense of purpose, and ensuring that you don't just survive, but you actually thrive, in the industry. And this is actually my system. I talked about you getting clear, you being strategic, and you having, action, which is execution. And so that's what my my clarity to steady execution roadmap, that's what it's all about. It's all about you getting clear, you being strategic, and then you executing, you know, your vision. So these are just 9 steps. I will just explain what these 9 steps are. I hope that the time is enough. Miss Marvelous, how am I doing with the time so that I know how to manage this?
Okay, you're doing really well. I guess you have like 10 to 15 minutes. Yes, 10 to 15 minutes left.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you. So if you have visions, you know, and you know, you have things that you want to achieve, you know, and all of that, remember that I said, and I would like you to, you know, if you're listening to me, you could grab your pen and your notepad and just, you know, scribble, you know, be, do, have, create, experience, right? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do? What are your dreams? You know, what are your dreams within this space? What do you want to achieve? You know, by the end of 2025, and maybe in January of 2026, when you're looking back, you know, you're saying, oh, in 2025, I achieved this. So by December 2025, what do you want to say about yourself, you know, about yourself within this space, you know, and then in your personal life as well? Remember that, you know, it's not just about, you know, our work, career, you know, finance, it's also about our personal lives, you know. So who do you want to be, you know? What are the things you want to do? What are the things you want to, what are the things you want to have experienced or you want to be experiencing, you know, by the end of the year? And, you know, I keep on talking about the end of the year. I know that people actually sometimes are able to capture dreams for more than a year, you know, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you know, and all of that. Even if you capture dreams for 5 years, you know, 10 years and all of that, it's good. And I always encourage people to keep something that I call a dream bank. A dream bank is a place where, just like how you keep your money in the bank, you could actually keep your dreams in the bank. So a dream bank, is a place where you bank your dreams. You know, you put your dreams there, and it's good. You know, I'm seeing them. These are my dreams. They make me happy, you know, and all of that. I started doing that when I was about maybe 16. So I've actually been on this journey for a very long time. And I think it may have, you know, even influenced my choice of career, because even in my job as an architect, when you meet a client, the MO, you know, and even the JD, the job description, is about taking your client from vision to reality. My client wants this, you know, and then he gives me the vision, he or she gives me the vision. We map out the 3D visualization of it. Every step that we take from the time that we realize what the vision of the client is, every step we take is taking us towards achieving this particular 3D visualization for this client, right? So it's the same, you know, thing. And so I would say that I think it's just my life work, really, whether in my career or in my, in my life, it's what I help people do. So how do you get clear, you know, about your vision? So you've written your dreams, right? I've written them. These are the dreams, these are the things I want. Self-awareness, you know, it's very important for you to get self-aware. Why? I think that, you know, when women are playing in, you know, some specific fields or some specific spaces, and it's not just in, you know, in life in general, you have to know who you are, and you have to know yourself much more than any other person would know you. And that person can't know you more than you know you. And that person shouldn't be interested in knowing you more than you are interested in knowing yourself, right? Someone shouldn't be telling you who you are and what you are capable of doing. That power should not be subcontracted to someone else. You should have the power of saying, this is who I am. You should have the power of even defining, you know, who you are, you know, giving definition to who you are, and, you know, you know, the things that you are capable of achieving. And sometimes you can't say, you know, you can't really tell just like that, but there are things that you can do to make yourself more self-aware. You can take personality tests. You could take, you know, I have some, you know, some tests that I put people through as well. But the ones that are public, you know, these are general knowledge, you know, tests. I love 16 personalities. There's a test, you know, at 16, you know, number 16, personalities.com, you know. It just makes you know what your personality type is. There's also the love language test. There's also the, you know, the test about are you introverted or extroverted? Just know yourself. Know what are my skills. So SWOT analysis. What are my, you know, my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, my threats, you know, within the industry. Just, you know, knowing all those things about yourself. What's your growth level? I talked about growth level the other time. Are you a drifter? Are you a dreamer? Are you an analyzer? Are you an executor? You know, what strengths do you have? You know, you need to know those things. And why do you need to know these things? Because it will come into, so you already know how you will act when you come against a roadblock. You already know how you act. Am I going to be resilient? Am I going to, not be whatever? And if you have, the thing is we grow from time to time. So even if you've gotten to a place before where you felt like, oh, I know myself, and all of that, you still need to, from there, still look at it again and just say, okay, let me just rediscover myself again, right? So it's very important. The next thing is for you to process your dreams. Now, let me show you let me show you what this means. So self-awareness, a vision is not just a picture of what could be, it is an appeal to our better selves, a call to become something more. So when you say that you want to be something, it's not just about, what I want to be. It is the fact that what I want to be is going to demand that I become a better person to become something more, right? I have to become a better person, or I have to become more knowledgeable. I have to become more analytical, more logical, to become something more. So there's something that you need to do, right? So I talked about the drifter and all of that. And then redefining success is also part of, self-aware. How do you define success? Is it just by achievement of goals? Or do you also define success by balance, freedom? So what level of freedom, do you have, within the space? Legacy, or everything you do, is it impacting the life of someone else, your immediate family or people around you, or even the people you work with? If you are the upline, manager for, a group of people, are you impacting them? So legacy and impact are kind of tied, because impact is good, like one-time thing, but the legacy is what you do consistently over time that would become, what people say about you. It would outlive you. That would be the thing of significance, and it ultimately outlives you. Growth, are you growing, from time to time? A lot of people just say, well, I didn't achieve my goals. I wanted to do this, sales goals. I had sales goals. You have sales rep and you hire them to, this is the goal, and maybe they don't meet, that target or meet the sales, whatever, but, maybe there were some other things that they were able to also still deliver, to the company. So it's not just about looking at, success in one particular way, but, and that's where what is your success mindset? How do you think about these things? Know yourself much more than anyone else can know you, can ever know you. That's my note there. Then we move on to the next one. I talked about, dream processing. Dream processing is really about, understanding, what your dreams are, right? Now, part of the things that make people not to achieve the dreams that they have is that they don't cut out distractions. They think that it's everything that comes to their mind that they should actually focus on. But if you don't clear out the space for what is not important, you would not have space and energy for what is important. So it's really good for you it's not everything that comes to your mind that you need to do. You need to sit down, introspect. Someone else can actually help you. You can sit down, have like a tete-a-tete, rub minds, session with someone else and, distill. So that's why I call distilling your desires. Not every desire you have that you should actually be focusing on. There are some that do nothing to get you to where you're going, where you said you wanted to go. You have to also categorize your dreams. There are different dreams, but it's not everything that deserves your energy. It's not everything that is priority, right? There are some dreams and it's good for you your dreams should be prioritized according to the values that they bring, the impact, the meaning, and the significance of that dream. There are some dreams that are externally projected. So these are the things that people are telling you that this is who you need to be. These are the things you need to do within this space. But is that thing really authentic to you? So you have to check for the authenticity of this dream that you have. Is it something that is born of healthy ambition? Is it something that is also so there are external dreams, there are feel-good dreams? Oh, it's just going to make me feel good. I'm going to make news, I'm going to be all over and all of that. But no, is it really authentic? Is it driven by purpose? So it's not every dream that you actually spend your time on. Now, how do you filter your durations? The third one, filtering durations. You have to be realistic about your timelines. And that's why I talked about the fact that it's not everything you're going to be able to achieve in year one. You will achieve some in year two, some will be year five and all of that. So even if you dream for a further time, like you dream for 5 years, bank your dreams, look for the ones that are achievable within 1 year, take them all together, prioritize those ones, right? So filter is not every dream and that's why some people say, oh, my vision board didn't work for me and all of that. But that's because, so at the end of 2025, oh, I didn't clear everything on my vision board. Some things are not dreams that could be achieved in a year. So you have to be logical, and realistic about your timelines. When do you want to achieve this thing, right? So every vision is a dream, but not every dream is a vision, because your dreams are raw materials for your visions, right? So in this dream, I have a container and I have dreams in that jar. It's not every dream in that jar that deserves my attention, that I should prioritize right now and all of that. The ones that deserve my attention and the ones that I should prioritize, those are the ones that are called visions. Do you understand? So every vision is a dream, but it's not every dream that is a vision, because, I mean, you have to qualify and categorize, right? The next step is vision articulation. So I have understood myself, self-awareness. I know my dreams are processed. And these are the steps that you take, right, to building your vision board. This thing. So let me just mention that these are the steps to building your vision board. Number 1 was self-awareness. Number 2 was processing your dreams. And then number 3 is actually articulating your vision. So, when you're articulating your vision, you evaluate the areas of your life. Remember that I talked about, okay, what's going on now that I don't like, and what would I like to change? Who am I right now? What are the things I'm doing and all of that? So you check your current levels of satisfaction, and then you prioritize, what you need to pay attention to, right? That's how you do the analysis. Then the scripting, and the affirmation. How do I write out? It's just the be, do, have, create experience I talked about. That's you already scripting your vision. This is who I want to be in this space. These are the things I want to achieve. That's scripting, right? So the first one is, what is going on right now that I'm not happy about? And you can write that down. As I talk, please, you can write down. What are the things that are going on right now that I'm not happy about? Who am I? What have I achieved so far? What am I doing? What do I have? What do I need to create? What am I creating? What are the things I'm experiencing within this space that I don't like? Then you get to the vision scripting part, and then you flip it and you say, this is who I want to be. This is what I want to do, what I want to have, create an experience, right? Then you visualize these things that you've written down, and visualization, is all about, putting in emotional details. Like you envision this success, you're putting in emotional details. That's what visualization is all about. At the end of the day, when you've done those things, then you can say, I'm opening a magazine and I want to cut out pictures. But why? Because you would be looking for specific things at that point, right? You will be looking because you've been through like an intentional introspection process. So it's better to build your vision board, at that point, right? Better to build your vision board at that point. And let me just show you something. So this is what I said: self-awareness, dream processing, vision articulation. And that's where your execution vision board, comes from. This is where it comes from. Now, remember that I said I'm still going to take you through strategy and execution. And I know I don't have so much time, so I'm just going to, just be quick about that. Vision articulate. Your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, but who looks inside awakes? And that was by Carl Jung. He was a psychologist, and all of that. So who looks inside, dreams? Who looks inside awakes? He who looks inside awakes. So that's that. Your vision articulation. This is how you do it. Who will I be? What will I do? What will I have? What will I create? What will I experience? What will I express? And you could do that for anywhere, any way in your life. It could be for 1 year, 2, 5, or 10 years. Like I said, I advise you just take the 1 year one. You can bank your 5-year, 10-year dreams, but just take the one for 1 year and look at it. For the purpose of this meeting, I want to believe that a lot of people would be, looking at the area of personal growth. There are 5 departments of life, right? You have your relationships, you have people development, which means impacting the lives of others. You have your health and your wellness, you have your work and your finance, and you have your personal growth and development. And for the purpose of this meeting, your work and finance, your personal growth and development, very, very important. Now, let me just state that you cannot have total life fulfillment without actually looking into the other areas of your life, right? So even if you are focusing on this, you still have to be clear about what you want in your relationships. Who do you need to partner with and all of that? You have to be clear about, who am I what am I contributing? What's the impact of this thing that I'm doing? And you have to be healthy, to even achieve anything or enjoy life, in life at all, so, but the work and finance and personal growth, but of course, the other areas of life also influence and affect it. So your personal growth and development, you ask those questions in that aspect. In this personal growth and development, who do I want to be? What are the things I want to do here? Are they courses I want to take? Like courses that Mr. Jimmy was talking about. What do I want to create? What are the things I want to have? I want to have, people treat me a certain way. I want to have, it could even be possessions, as an FMCG, what are the, and it could be your personal life as well. Like, what are the things I want to have? What are the things that somebody in this caliber, would have, and all of that? What are the things I want to experience? Do I want to experience, as a sales rep or a salesperson? Do I want to experience, better, relations, engagement with customers, with people, with supermarkets, and retail spaces? And how do I want this thing? What will you express? So what am I going to be expressing on the outside? What are people going to be seeing? Is it what's going on the inside of me? The things I want to actually, who I want to be, what I want to do, have, create an experience. Is that what people are seeing on the outside? Because that's also a test to the fact that you're doing things right. Who you said you wanted to be is who people are seeing you as. There's no disconnection. Sometimes there's this connection between who you want to be or who you say you are and who people perceive you as. So you have to do that check. And that's what the expression one is about, right? You can also do that for your work and finance, within the FMCG space. And so this is just an example of my vision scripting, thing. I did like vision scripting for my impact business, which is this one that I'm operating under as I facilitate this session. I talked about who I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, have, create, and experience. This particular slide will be made available to you at the end of the session so that you can, do yours as well. And so this is where your vision board, creation starts. Your success visualization is just about, getting those images and pasting them there. And that's how you create your vision board. There's also a guide that I will give you for your vision board. I don't know. So if you can, Ms. Marvelous, I don't know if you can type that for me in the comments, stellar.co/VBVC guide. That's a link where they can actually just download the vision board guide right away. It's a free vision board guide. You can download it. Stellar.co.
Okay. Sorry, ma'am, what did you say?
So there's a vision board guide that people can download right away. If you can
Yes,
help me
ma'am.
put the link in the chats.
Chat box. Yeah.
Yes.
You
So
are
this is
saying Stella that Stella dot
stellar.co/VBVC guide.
Stella.co
/VBVC guide. VBVC
guide.
guide. Yeah. So there
Okay.
are the vision board guide is there, and I think there's some other extra guides that I put there. So it's going to be beneficial for people who want to actually, do the things that I'm talking about, right now. Strategy is all about goal development, feasibility testing, goal planning. When Mr. Jimmy was talking, everything he talked about data and all of that, it will fall under your feasibility testing. Like, how do I go from here to here? You have to test, what's the feasibility of me achieving this particular dream? And people skip all these things and they just go to goal development. So at the beginning of the year, someone says, oh, these are my goals. I'm just writing my goals. But you see the steps we took before we got to goal development. A lot of people skip all of that and they just go to goal development, right? Which is not, you don't get the full, it's for me, I feel it's the same time that you would use in doing something that is not properly, that you haven't really introspected or thought about, properly. You're wasting that time because you can actually do something well. I tell people that I work with, my workers, I tell them, I said, the time you just spent in doing this thing, if you were going to do it right, it would have been the same time. So let's, do things properly. So your goals, make sure that your vision comes first. You getting clear about your vision, and then your goal can stem from your vision. And that's what I meant when I said vision aligned goals. So your goal at this level, if you did steps 1, 2, 3, would actually align with your vision. So it's not just, oh, me waking up. My goals will not now be, oh, I saw somebody do that, and so I'm doing it. I did. No. Your goals would be authentic to you because you actually did the work in processing these dreams, right? So your goal development, you develop your goals. What are the things I want to achieve? What is the feasibility of me achieving this thing? If I don't have everything that I need, then I need to plan for growth. A lot of people skip that as well. They just move on to execution. So people do goal development, move on to execution. They skip clarity altogether, start from developing their goals and skip to execution. But things can be done that way. I'm going to just keep skipping. A goal without vision is like a sheep without a shepherd, right? A shepherd is to a sheep the way a vision is to a goal. So your vision is actually the one that oversees your goal, because your goal, everything you're doing in this goal is headed towards the vision that you saw at the beginning of the year. So a goal that doesn't have a vision that, it's aligned with, is like a sheep that doesn't have a shepherd. It's just going to be stray, and the goal can take you anywhere, and all of that. So,
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, Ms. Falakemi.
right.
That was such a wonderful session. Wow. That was so fast. I mean, I'm so certain everyone definitely jotted a lot of things down. I have my notepad with me and I've just been writing a lot of things down. And I was even gonna ask about the slide, but thank God, you helped us before I even asked. So thank you so much. I really learned a lot
Yeah.
from having a vision. Even the quotes, I had to write them down. I had to write those quotes down. And I think one that stuck out to me the most was every vision is a dream, but not every dream is a vision. That one stuck out to me a lot, and I think it stuck out to everyone also, because I think sometimes we get we misunderstand the fact that not everything is what we are supposed to do. Yes, we might have that dream, but are those long-term goals, are those things that are actually necessary for our growth? Or are they just things that are surface levels, things that are not going to yield fruit? So yes, thank you so much, Ms. Falakemi. So because we aim to wrap up at 5 p.m. Does anybody have any question? Let's just take like 1 or 2 questions, please. Please, does anybody have a question? Okay, Mr. Mr. Jimmy, yeah, please, you can go ahead.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Actually, I was about to leave. You can see I also removed my cam, but anytime I was about to just ask for permission to get excused, you throw something very interesting like a bait, and that has kept me all the session. I really, really appreciate you. You are very, very smart, very, very smart, because you put some baits all along your session that will attract. So first of all, I would like to thank you, because you mentioned that vision board is good also for team. This is amazing. I never thought about that before. It's not only for yourself, even for your team, you can create a vision board, and that would be amazing, So I like the idea that you raise it, okay, that even teams can have their own vision board. Then again, I was about to leave. Then you mentioned something about how you divide your time with the family and the time for yourself. So it's a pure time management technique that it will require a lot of training. And I'm very happy that along your experience, you were able to capture this wonderful skill. It's a skill. I train time management for many people, and the way you describe it, is really amazing. Then you mentioned also the steady execution. Oh my God, that one also attracted me, because many of our failure come from being unable to have this consistency. Let's say I want to reduce my weight, I want to go to gym. Many people, they will go on the first day, second day, then they stop. So you're absolutely right. Steady execution is really, really important for determination, for achievement, and it will really differentiate the executor from the dreamers. If you just keep on dreaming without a steady execution, you will not go anywhere. Then if you don't mind, you mentioned also something very, very nice about that website where people can get to know about their personality. Is it personality16.com?
Okay, let me type that I'll type that in the chats now so that you can easily access it. I'll type that in the chat.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
So it's 16personalities.com.
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 Yes.
Yes.
And I don't want to be taking everybody's time just for questions, just a few more points. And distilling your desire, wow, that one you hit the nail on the head also, because you need to know what's good for you, what's not good for you. Same like what just Marvelous said. It's not everything that we dream about is something that should be accomplished. So you have to be very selective in that, so that you don't have many ideas, many dreams in your mind, and you don't know which one is good, which one is not good. You need to really segregate what is good, what aligns with your vision. And yeah, I love that point. No, you did excellent job. You kept me the whole session. I already took permission from Marvelous before we start this training that I had an important something to attend to. But as I said, you are very smart. You were throwing baits along the line so that you keep attracting us. Congratulations, really, really, you did well. You did well. Thank you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you so
Yeah, I
much.
guess I wasn't the well. I said it. I wasn't the only one that learned to learn. And when Jimmy texted me, I didn't even see his message initially because I was so focused on what you were saying. And when I was like, oh my goodness, Jimmy, I'm so sorry. But Jimmy was like, No, 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 no. I'm still here. I haven't left it. So yes, thank you so much, Miss Falakemi, for that. That was a really, really wonderful question. I mean, I'm still gonna go over my notes and go over to. I just checked out the course now. I tapped out the wrong link initially, but I think yeah, little bit. So if you need a course, well, you definitely need a course. So you should definitely check that out. So do we have any one final question? Anybody with a question? You could type it in the chat box or you could, unmute your mic. Does anybody have a question? Wow, with all that been said, no one. Well, I think I would like to believe that Ms. Falakemi has done a lot of justice to the topic and vision. And just to wrap up, I would say that having vision boards is not just for you to have it for having sake. It's not an aesthetic for you to have it. It's something that would design your room wall. It's not a picture. It's not a picture frame for you to, design your room or your sitting room. No, it's something that's supposed to motivate you to move you forward from that point of dormancy or potential latency to that point of active, intentional actions that will let me just say it's like a catalyst basically in a chemical reaction. So your vision board cannot help you to do everything, but it is a catalyst to help you to attain your dream. So thank you everyone for joining us in this wonderful, wonderful webinar. I appreciate each and every one of you, those on LinkedIn, those on Zoom. Thank you so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate your presence. Website says thank you. Yes, you should definitely follow up on our social media pages because we have a lot of goodies for you. I mean, there's a lot of webinars, seminars that are going to be packed for this year, and you definitely want to stay tuned to that. So thank you so much. This is 16:59. Does anybody have anything to say before we wrap up and call it a day? Okay, Jimmy. Okay, Jimmy. Yeah, go ahead in 1 minute. Thank you.
Yeah. There's something I cannot skip because she mentioned something extremely, extremely important when she was saying that you should not allow people to tell you what you can do, what you cannot do. Amazing, amazing point. I love that. Don't give your remote control of happiness to anybody. You control your future, you control. Amazing, amazing point. I really love that. I really love that. Well done. Well done.
I think I really love that too. And the quote about, looking inwards and, awaken that spirit in you to move forward. Yeah, I really love that. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us in this wonderful meeting. Thank you for taking your time to, involve yourself in this webinar. I do hope you have a lovely day because I already had a lovely day with this webinar, but I hope you have a lovely day ahead. Thank you once again, Ms. Falakemi and Jimmy. We've said thank you so much. Our audience on LinkedIn, once again, thank you. Audience on Zoom, thank you so much. So yeah, I guess we call it a day from here. Have a lovely day ahead. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.